The job I'm going to talk about today is being a rapper, or in general, just being a music performer, a singer, or a band, or just a musician. And I think with this, the most important part that comes with it is that you need to have the skills. Because the music industry is not like the other industries where if your father or your family runs a great business, then they can just pass it down to you. The music industry is all by yourself. You gotta produce some great music. You gotta produce something that people like. Then people will start to pay attention to you. Of course, being in a rich and being in a music family, like all the celebrities, that gives you a lot of exposure. But that doesn't mean everything. You still need a lot of skills. And I feel like being a rapper in general, what you first need for skills is that you need flow, your rhyme schemes, you need to know how to write on the beats, how to write in general, and then just your wordplays or how to make something catchy. For example, my song right now. So, my song, the chorus goes, it repeats twice for three times. So, I have three hooks. And here comes things that if I have three hooks in a 3 minute song, then that means people will be hearing this hook for six times in just 3 minutes. That's what I did in order to make it sound catchy. Because before, in the old school days, you gotta have great music. You gotta have great word plays. Gotta have the great rhyme schemes or just great flows in general to just make a masterpiece to just earn the plaques. But nowadays it's different. People could be rapping and just say Gucci Gang for 50 times and then they can get a plaque. So I feel like what is important right now is that you need to attract the people to come to your music and to attract those people to come back to your music. So in order to do so, you need to make yourself sound catchy. You need to make them just, sometimes you'll have that song just stuck in your mind. That's what you want the audience to feel. And at the same time, this is just choruses. Sometimes you need to just focus on the verses because a lot of people, at the end of the day, they'll start learning your lyrics. So it's those percentages of people that you have to focus on. Because if you just write some normal or some trash lyrics, they won't like it. They won't even try to just sing or replicate it. But if you have something that's quite hard, quite meaningful, or it can touch them, then they'll want to sing this song. For example, we can see great rappers like Eminem or before like Tupac, Biggie, or just all the legends. They all have to have some great songs in order to make them become where they are right now, to gain the exposure, to gain the superstardom for them. And this just comes back to that you need to attract them back. No matter if it's you gotta sound catchy, you gotta have great wordplays, you gotta have great skills, people gotta love your voice. It's the whole thing. You gotta drag the people back. And I feel like if nowadays you wanna do rap, it's way easier than before. Because nowadays we have social media. And social media is a really, really useful thing. Because that's how you gain exposure. And exposure is the most important thing in the music industry these days. Before, you would need record labels to put out songs like Death Row, Interscope, or Aftermath, those kind of big labels to get you to those good songs and have people listen to your music. But nowadays, it's different. You can just start up a YouTube channel, you can just open your Spotify, try to get your music on Spotify, iTunes, and all those platforms, and then people could start to hear your music. Of course, you still need to have your normal fan base, but that means it's way easier than before. That's why there is such a rise on indie artists, because it's way easier to do things by yourself right now. You don't need a record label, you don't need anyone to help you with what you're doing right now. You can do this all by yourself. And that's what I think being a musician, being a producer, being a rapper is why is it so great, because you're putting out the music that people might or would listen. And these music comes down to one thing, what you're trying to talk about. So there are the songs that can talk about absolutely nothing and just make it sound catchy. Or there are the songs that give you like goosebumps. For example, for the song Tupac, like Changes, the song is trying to say something to you. The song is trying to give a certain idea and saying that we need changes. Or for example, like Eminem, he has songs like Sing for a Moment, Monster, where he's talking about his own monsters and then talking about what he wants for the audience of his. So he has the lyrics of saying that I'm producing the music for perhaps the one of a million, and who are going to the struggle field and relate that's great. And just he's trying to put the music out just for that one in a million, just for them to actually feel like, oh, I experienced that too. So that's someone I can relate to, and they'll put their guards down, and then they could really hear the music and then feel this thing. So that's why I think that music is so great. And then this is why I feel like being a rapper, being a music producer, being in the music industry is a good job. But the first thing first, you gotta have the skills.